Hi, I'm Marion and I'm a speech pathologist and the director of Cooee Speech Pathology, and we're a multidisciplinary private practice here in Brisbane. So we support families through both speech pathology and occupational therapy, working together in a multidisciplinary approach in our clinic. At Cooee, we're a team of clinicians and admin leaders that are all really passionate about innovation and working together with a shared purpose, which is to help children grow and to develop and achieve their goals. And we're really passionate about doing that in a way that actually helps us as professionals to grow and to thrive too. So it's that intersection of both supporting families whilst working in a way that really supports the team and the business as well. Over the last decade, my role within the Cooee team has changed dramatically to first of all be myself as a clinician working in the therapy room, to now supporting a team of multidis health professionals that are all just really passionate about working together. And I also support other allied health professionals as well as a leadership coach in some ad hoc business consulting and looking at systems design around service delivery models. So my path to leadership wasn't planned. It was organic, and it was very much based on the need that the business presented to me at the time. So when I started Cooee, it was just me as a speech pathologist. There was 2 therapy rooms and a handful of clients. And like many private practice owners, I was doing everything from social media to scheduling, calling clients, returning phone calls, doing the invoicing and the billing, doing the tax at night time, and basically taking on the full role of not just the clinical role we do as speechies, but also the business owner role as well. And as the team grew, I realized that the work that we do, or the work that I do in private practice, it's not only about doing therapy anymore. It was also about designing a space and a workplace where other clinicians could contribute in to the profession through their unique passions and their areas of interest, and really support each other to do our best work, to do what we love to do. And so what that highlighted for me was the need for systems. And that's been the approach that I've taken in my business, is to have consistent systems that are well structured to support the clinicians to do the work that they do. In the Cooee team, we aim for the leadership to be shared rather than to be a title. So we want to focus on our values and for each person within their role to develop self-leadership skills so that they can express themselves through their work. So that shift from clinician to leader to sort of systems design and really focusing on building the culture and the systems in the business, that's been the biggest part of my leadership journey so far. So today, Cooee is a multidisciplinary team with over 13 full-time equivalent therapists, both speech pathologists and occupational therapists. We have a client care team, a practice manager, a finance manager, and a growing strategic team that guide the direction of the business. And what sets us apart is not our size, it's the structure and the purpose and the intention that we build into the work that we do every day. So we've intentionally built systems that support the collaboration between families and the multidisciplinary teams that they work with between our disciplines. So our speech pathologists and occupational therapists, they don't just coexist in the same building or pass each other in the hallways, they co-create their care plans, they co-deliver their services, and we learn from each other, and we've structured in our systems in a way that supports that collaboration and communicates that collaboration to our families in the most effective way that we can. So whether it's those joint assessment processes, the shared goal setting, or our cycles of therapy planning, the clinicians are set up through the systems to collaborate in ways that allow for better outcomes for clients and more rewarding work for themselves. And learning how to create, deliver, and improve these systems has been a huge part of the change in my role from clinician to leader over time. One of the things that I'm most inspired by the team at Cooee is how we've created leadership pathways, and the pathways we've designed aren't based on hierarchy. We use a decentralized leadership model. So the pathways we create here at Cooee for people to grow beyond their clinician role, if they want to, is based on contribution. It's based on responsibilities. We're inspired in that direction by frameworks like Hierarchy and also integral theory, and our approach is that leadership isn't reserved for formal titles. It's an act that we engage in as we execute different responsibilities. So leadership is embedded in different roles and different projects across the clinic and within the whole team. At Cooee, clinicians can lead through mentoring graduates and early career clinicians. They can lead through executing projects that contribute to the quality of what we do in the clinic, or support and celebrate the communities that we work with. They can shape service delivery models, run innovation projects, or engage in some of our community outreach and education programs as well. So these leadership opportunities that we have at Cooee change, and they grow and they develop based on the needs of the clinic, and they're also created in line with the interests of the person that's stepping into that leadership role as well. So we don't just have a set cookie cutter pathway for how clinicians should grow or are going to grow. We create individualized pathways based on the people's passions in the workplace and what helps them light up, and as I said earlier, do their best work. So another big part of my leadership journey, and also the change in my career over time, has been learning self-leadership and stepping more into understanding about leadership in general. And for me, a big part of that started with just wanting to understand myself a little bit better, and that's where my coaching journey started. And I stepped in to do some NLP training, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And I'm now a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming. And I've also done some ongoing training through the Said Business School in Oxford in women's leadership, and some additional trainings in integral theory and Enneagram profiling, which is a lot of words that essentially is just really providing some tools within the workplace that help me, and that through coaching support others to understand ourselves better in the workplace. Because as speech pathologists, we can often focus so much on our clients, but the more that we can understand about ourselves and how we as people act and operate as in the professional space, the more effective we can be. And so that covers areas like self-organization, self-leadership, emotional intelligence, being able to prioritize clearly, and also develop our communication styles, different flexibility of communication styles, and other such professional skill sets that we need to be able to execute the roles that we do every day. Speech pathology and allied health is a very dynamic profession that's both admin heavy as well as people heavy, and we need a diverse range of professional skill sets to be able to effectively manage the work that we do without it coming as a personal cost. And that's where my interest in the self-leadership part of things really started. For now, at the moment in the Cooee team, I provide one-on-one leadership coaching to all of the team at Cooee, and also run team development sessions which shape our culture and provide a shared framework and understanding for our values and our team dynamics. And I also offer those services externally to other allied health professionals as well. So everything that we do, all these systems that we've developed and put in place, the pathways that we have, and the clinical work that we do at Cooee, it's all about ultimately delivering excellent therapy. That's strong core values of ours. One of our core values is excellence, and we embody that through our approach to the care that we provide to the pediatric population. This approach means that we set clear, meaningful, participation-focused goals with our families. We review those goals in structured cycles, communicating and documenting really clearly with the families and stakeholders that we work with, and lean into honest, empathetic conversations with families about progress and about discharge. And the structures that we have in place are what allow for that clarity of communication with families. We take our outcomes really seriously, and that's what a lot of the leadership that we have at Cooee is focused around, is how can we improve the outcomes for the families that we're working with. So if you're a student wondering where speech pathology can take you, well, wow, I want you to know that there is just so much more available than what you might experience on placement. And you can absolutely be a clinician, and you likely will, as you explore providing therapy plans to clients to help them improve their communication and swallowing goals. But speech pathology is an incredibly diverse profession, and it opens up a window of other opportunities for us. And for me, that's meant service delivery design, team training, and team leadership. And that's just one example of what a different pathway in speech pathology can look like. You can create services, you can shape culture, you can influence policy, And if you're passionate about outcomes and people and progress, well, that's going to be your cornerstone for impact in the communities that you work with. So what excites me most about the speech pathology profession is just how many ways there are now to make an impact, and that's really different from when I graduated. The next generation of speech pathologists, you are going to not just treat clients, you'll shape services, you'll design new ways of working, you'll innovate with new technologies in ways that we can't even dream of, and you'll challenge the systems that no longer serve us as well. I hope that in hearing parts of my story that you're inspired by where speech pathology will be able to take you, and certainly to know that your career doesn't need to follow a fixed path. It's going to evolve in a fairly organic way as you follow what's important to you and the values that drive the reason that you started to study speech pathology in the first place.